Well, what's up, YouTube? It's Ask the Young One with CreateHigherVibrations.com. Today I wanted to make a video and talk a little bit about being an empath and becoming more empowered in using that gift, because it truly is a gift. I made a post a couple days ago, put it in a group, and then had someone ask me about the post, and the post read something along the lines of, once the empath can understand what they're feeling, they become an empowered empath, and it really helps you make decisions pretty immediately when you begin to understand the energy and when you begin to understand other people. And they kept commenting that being an empath was a curse to them, and they didn't understand how you could be empowered as an empath. And I can understand where they're at. It's one thing when you go through this journey and you're going through awareness and you're learning yourself and you're growing in consciousness. And some people are still going to be at certain levels and certain awareness they're not going to be able to see. They're not going to be, we have to meet people at the level of consciousness that they are, and we can only do that by understanding ourselves, and therefore we don't put judgment on them, but rather we can bring things to them to help with their awareness, and then it's up to them whether or not they begin to practice these things. And so I wanted to make a video about this and talk a little bit about it, because even myself, I didn't realize I was even an empath until later in life, and really beginning to dig into my own traumas and understand what I was feeling and how I was feeling it and how other people were affecting how I felt, and just getting into the whole thing. And even now, just I'm way more aware of it, and way more aware of the energies, and more aware of my own energy, and being in understanding of that. I talk about it in one of my last couple of videos about understanding our energy and being able to not put ourselves in environments where it's going to drain us or drag us down, or becoming aware of our own aura and really learning how to filter that out. And I think it's very important, especially for empaths, because we are known as people to become codependent, to become people pleasers, to carry on so many other people's baggage. And a lot of this comes from our own trauma, and understanding this is going to be very empowering when it comes to recognizing things within others, and being able to leave that be, and being able to leave that alone when we know that, it's like human nature. It's not even necessary that people are doing it on purpose, but low vibrational energy will use and suck away the energy of an empath. And then immediately the empath, if they're not aware of it, will a lot of times start to question themselves, or they'll be drained within themselves, and they'll start carrying on everybody else's energy or their burdens. And you can only do that for so long, and it's a very draining thing when you're not aware of it. And being an empath, I believe, to me is a gift, and we don't have to give those powers away to everybody. And when we're able to recognize that, then we can start to protect ourselves more. We can start to be more empowered and give our gifts and our magic away to more places that will use it in ways to empower themselves, rather than unconsciously, low vibrationally wanting to suck and drain it away from us. And so I think it's very important to understand these things and not think of yourself as a curse. That again goes back to a negative mindset about oneself, that they're not good enough, that they aren't deserving enough, that they aren't able or good enough within to be able to conquer that curse feeling. And so I think it's very important to talk about these things. And I know there's some empaths on this channel, and I know some of them have done a lot of this work, and I'm going to express a few things for me that I had to learn was in order to be able to become more empowered with what I was feeling and to be able to understand what I was feeling. You know, this is an example of this would be if you've done some, you know, you've done some self-care, you've done some self-work, you meditate, you really keep your vibration up, you really try to see the love and the wholeness in all things, and then you walk into a room or get around someone that is very negative mindset, and just the presence, you can feel that drain. And when you become empowered and being able to understand this, you can see it for what it is, and you can view them with love and wholeness rather than allowing that transfer of that negative mindset or negative energy to come onto you. Rather, you can protect yourself by seeing that and seeing them as love and wholeness rather than judgment or some other negative way, you know, or falling into that negative mindset by allowing it to lower your own vibrational energy, and then you're carrying it on, and then you leave, and then you go the rest of the day trying to get rid of that, trying to cleanse yourself of that. And I think for me, some of the top 3 things is learning to cleanse our own vibrational state, learning to understand our own energy, learning to embrace this beautiful gift that we have rather than looking at it as a curse, because it's actually a very beautiful gift when we can bring it to awareness as to what an empath is and what it feels like to be an empath. And we, you know, again, like the part of the growth, part of the journey is learning these things about us. It's part of who we are. We can't change that. We are here, like empaths are healers, man. It's so beautiful to understand how powerful that healing can be and what it can do for people that are open to it. Now, we're not able to go in and heal narcissists and psychopaths and sociopaths. And as an empath, I would not even want to recommend you even attempting to do that, because there's so many others out there that can use your gift and your magic once you get yourself together, once you're able to really put in the work and see what that is. So cleansing one's own vibrational energy is going to be very important to understand. The second thing that I would really push is to heal your own traumas, to heal your own people pleasing, to peel back your own mask and the layers of traumas that are within us. We have to do that. We can't use this empowering gift if we're still carrying around a lot of our own shit. You know, if we're not healing our own selves, we're just going to continue to be triggered by other people. We're going to still be triggered by them, you know, whether they mean to or not. We're still going to get triggered by things. And that's why it's so important to really heal within ourselves before we go out and try to heal other people, or before we go out and try to work with other people to help them bring their awareness up. If we're still carrying around so much shit and trauma from our own selves, then it's going to be really hard for us to bring value to someone else if that's what we're trying to do. But hopefully, ultimately, whether you're doing that in a coaching situation or you're just doing it in life, because it enhances you to help daily in the people and the people around you. So learning and healing our own trauma is going to be very important. And then the third and most important thing that I could say is to practice self-love every single day. Practicing self-love and learning to love ourselves, learning to recognize that we are important, learning to recognize that we don't have to sacrifice ourselves and our energy for people that will not appreciate it. We don't have to do those things. And granted, I know this is really hard because it's one of the things about being an empath. You feel energy, you feel other people. And so that's one reason why using and filling your own cup up full of self-love and wholeness is what is going to be one of the most empowering parts of being an empath, and being able to then project that out onto the people that are around you that need it, rather than taking on their burdens. You can see them through love and wholeness. You can then pass that energy on to them and still keep your cup maintained. And I think it's just a very, very important part of this process of becoming empowered rather than just an empath, or beginning to understand the magic that is in you and the things that you can do for people. And it's probably, that should probably be number one, but I think cleansing first and then healing, and you can implement all three of these in together as part of a process. So I think it's very important. So I wanted to make a quick video and talk about that, because I think it's I don't think it's cool to like go around and say you're cursed as an empath. That's not good, because empaths are very special for humanity. They are life changers for humanity. They are the healers of humanity, and they are going to be the difference makers, especially when we become empowered and truly empowered within our own abilities, within our own selves, and we start using this as something that doesn't tear us down, rather than using it to then enhance ourselves to our higher source, and allowing ourselves to flow from that place, and do it without allowing another to diminish us. And we have to heal. We have to learn to love ourselves. We have to put that into perspective and really change how we do things in order to become empowered with it. So with that, I'll stop rambling for now, and hopefully I said everything I wanted to say. You know, if anybody wants to work on this, like, this is what I do. This is what we do. We peel the layers back. We unmask ourselves. We unmask the people pleasing within us, and the codependency, and the traumas, and the not good enoughs, and the not deserving this difference in life, and the unlovable feelings, and the, you know, it goes on and on with what we have to go down and peel away and get to the root of things, and start cutting things off at the root and really healing that. And then the empowerment begins to come, the consciousness begins to come, the awareness begins to come. So I'll go for now, and if anybody, you know, wants to talk about it even further and get in deeper, my email is in the description. If you're an empath and you know, you've done this work and you got some suggestions, please comment and help others and bring some light to it. I truly believe, especially for us that went through these very toxic relationships, I mean, as an empath, I really believe that that relationship is a rebirth for us. And you know, it was meant to happen for the rebirth of that empowered empath, for us to be able to then create that life and use this magic and this gift for the rest of our lives, rather than suffering from that specific type of relationship. So those are my thoughts on some things, and hopefully it helps. And again, I will talk to you on the next video. Namaste.